What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video, and today I am smoking my 7LA 320 Truvy with some shortcut to mushrooms in it. And this is a weekend pipe chat. And in said weekend pipe chat, I'm going to talk about a trade I did with a fellow YTPC member named Jack Nelson. We recently went on a hike and traded some tobaccos. I traded him Bayou Morning, Dunhill Standard Mixture, Drew Estates Meat Pie, Cornell and Deal's Bayou Morning, and a couple others if I remember correctly. And in return, let me show you what he gave me for the trade. That's a mosquito. Gave me Boswell's Northwoods. Solani Aged Burley Flake. It's picking up here. Put my pipe next to me so it doesn't overheat. Cornell and Deal's Bayou, I think is how that's pronounced. I'm assuming the J is actually pronounced with an H, or as an H sound. Could be pronounced Bijou, but that's what he got me. And oh, I didn't grab it. 1 second. And of course, he got me Shortcut to Mushrooms, which is what I'm smoking right now. It was a great time. We went up Butte Hill, or at least that's what it's called locally. I keep forgetting what the hill's actually supposed to be called. It's named after the street that the hill is on, but it's a common hill that's climbed in Butte by the locals quite a bit, especially in the summertime, because when you get to the top, you've got a really good view of Palmer and the highway that leads into Anchorage. You get to see one of the glaciers. You get to see some farmland in Palmer. So it's a good hike. Very steep and fairly short, but it's a decent little hill to climb. But we just went there and shot the shit. Talked about YTPC members, which ones we liked. We talked a lot about pipes and tobacco and what we tended to collect. He collects a lot more tobacco than I do. He says he has so much tobacco that he has tins that are just unopened. But he only has a few pipes, whereas I'm kind of in the opposite end of the spectrum. I have quite a few jars of tobacco. At least I feel like I have quite a few, but not as much as some. But I've got quite the pipe collection compared to the few pipes that he has. So we just kind of compared and contrasted quite a bit as far as why we made those decisions to, focus either more on tobacco or focus more on pipes. And I talked a little bit about how I acquired a lot of my pipes and gave him some suggestions to further develop his collection and to further expand his collection. Because if you do it right, you can get some fairly high quality pipes for really not that much. Oh, speaking of pipes, he gave me a pipe. Reach in here. That pipe. Yep, it's another carve your own pipe. So, haven't really decided what I'm going to do with this. I want to find a way to expand the bowl on that. So maybe I can make another very wide bowled, shorter pipe. But that's what he got me. So, Jack Nelson, if you're watching this, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to hang out. I hope to do it again soon. Shortcut to mushrooms that you traded me is really good. It's very much comparable to Frog Morton in a lot of ways. In that it's a very light English blend. Relatively sweet. It does have a mushroomy taste to it. And a lot of key is there, it's just very, very light. But I'm digging it. I'm also drinking some Numa coffee in my now favorite $100 giant random coffee mug. Pairs well with the shortcut to mushrooms. But one of the things that we talked about, one of the things that we discussed was the fact that as a whole, but especially up here, there's not really a whole lot of pipe smokers to talk to converse with, to hang out with like we did today. Today being a Sunday. And it got me thinking on the way home, because I know there's pipe smokers out there. And I know there's pipe smokers out there because every time I go to an antique shop where they sell estate pipes, they don't get pipes in very frequently, but when they do get them in, they're gone. And yeah, I guess you could say that with the marijuana laws up here being what they are, people are probably using them for that. And that's a fair point. Most people, well, I wouldn't say most. There's probably a few people that are, using briar pipes for that matter. But I would assume that there's a reason why most bongs are made out of glass for smoking marijuana, whereas you can get away with a wooden pipe for tobacco. Having cleaned out an estate pipe that had been smoked with marijuana, I can tell you that marijuana really seeps into the briar. On the exterior most portion of the chamber, it's really easy to clean out, but just the residue and the resin, I guess, really seeps into the wood. And that's the hard part to get out. So I think for those reasons, there's probably not a whole lot of people buying up those estate briar pipes. Which makes me wonder just how many people there really are up here that do smoke pipes. And, you know, maybe they want to be left alone, and I totally get that. You know, some of my best bowls have been enjoyed by myself in solitude, away from other people, and just relaxing. Just kind of the whole point of the hobby is to relax. But if pipes are getting bought out at that kind of a rate, makes me wonder just how many pipe smokers there actually are up here. In fact, I know there's at least one pipe smoker on Instagram that lives up in Fairbanks that posts quite a bit on Instagram. I just don't know if there's a way to I'm wondering if there's a way to encourage them to make themselves known a little bit more so that we can kind of, I don't know, form a club of sorts. Just a random thought, though. Anyway, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good weekend.